I want to jump to this story, which I also found interesting. Um, yeah, Texas atheists are suing Fort Worth for rejecting ads for an event opposing Christian nationalism. And here's the thing that this is all about. I'm showing you this website here. This is a website for downtown Fort Worth, Texas. And they have this really neat downtown banner program. And you could see, just check out the picture here. If you're walking through downtown Fort Worth, you might see banners on the flagpoles that advertise local groups, local nonprofits that are based in that part of Texas, or advertising an event um, that's going on in the community. All you got to do is like you have to pay for the banners, you have to pay for the permits they need, you got to fill out the paperwork. Everyone has to play by the same rules. Um, and what's interesting is so the Metroplex atheists in that part of Texas, they said, you know what? We have an event coming up in late August that's a seminar talking about the dangers of Christian nationalism, and we want to promote that. And so they went through all these banner requirements. They did all this stuff that they need here. They have the eligibility. They took care of everything because they've done this before a couple of years ago. And they submitted their application, and the city of Fort Worth said no. They said you can't put it up there. And so this goes on back and forth for a little bit where they're like, well, why? We did everything you wanted us to do. So what's the problem with our event? What's the problem with these banners that we want? What's the deal? And they actually had a meeting with an official with Fort Worth. I'm going to show you this right here. Um, this guy, Assistant City Manager William Johnson, he told the group that the reason that he was saying no to the banner was because it lacked sufficient magnitude. What does that mean? I have no idea what that means. No one knows what that means. Like, does that mean the event's not serious enough? Because Christian nationalism is pretty damn serious. Does it mean you weren't going to have enough attendees at the event? Because one, how would you know that? And two, what are you talking about? There's nothing in the rule book. There's nothing in the banner program that says we'll only allow you to put up a banner if your event is going to have like X number of people. So basically, this idea that you lack sufficient magnitude, this guy Johnson just made that up. None of that makes any sense. There's nothing in the policy that says anything about that. And so, after all these attempts to get to the bottom of what's going on and not getting any answers, the Metroplex atheists decided to file a lawsuit against the city. And they are asking a judge basically like, hey, we have our event in a month, so we need an answer now. We don't need a full ruling, but can you like take a stance on this? I have seen editorials in local newspapers about this topic, and I've seen people chiming in, commentators, public members of the public who are writing letters to the paper, and like all of them, all including some conservative people, are like, "Yeah, the atheists are totally right here. The city cannot say no to them and say yes to everyone else." The city of Fort Worth allowed Kenneth Copeland Ministries to put up a banner promoting their event for some convention they were hosting in the area because they follow the guidelines and they should have said yes to that as well. And they did. But for some reason, the atheist group isn't allowed to do it. So this should be open and shut. I don't know what's gonna happen. But Bradley Onishi, who is one of the speakers scheduled to be at this anti-Christian nationalism event, basically made it clear the city's refusal to allow the Metroplex atheists to advertise is a clear violation of free speech. Of course it is. It's not even complicated there. This is what happens. I mean, the irony here is that Christian nationalists, like I wrote here, it's suppressing a seminar on the dangers of Christian nationalism. I would hope even in Texas, judges see that and they're like, yeah, we're not allowing that to happen or something. But who knows? Who knows?